Viewports are areas in your AutoCAD drawing that display different views of your model. As you work in AutoCAD, you can split up the drawing area into one or more adjacent rectangular viewports. These are known as model viewports. In large complex drawings, you may want to display different views. This reduces the time that you need to zoom or pan in a single view. It's also very useful in 3D, which we'll look at with multiple viewports. Let's look at 2D viewports for now, though. The viewports are found under the View menu, and the command is Viewports. Let's first look at New Viewports. You can also type Vports at the command prompt. You'll see that you have a number of different configurations here that you can choose from. So for instance, you could have 2 vertical viewports, 2 horizontal viewports, a combination of different 3 viewports. So you could have perhaps 1 big viewport on the left and 2 smaller viewports on the right. You can also have 4 equal viewports. You might have 4 unequal viewports, maybe 1 big one and 3 small ones on the right or left. I'm going to go ahead and pick 3 viewports. Right. So I'll have 2 small viewports on the left and 1 big viewport on the right. Notice that I'm still sticking with the 2D viewports for now. I'll go ahead and click OK here. And AutoCAD will define my drawing by having 2 viewports on the left and 1 on the right. You only have 1 active viewport at a time. In my case, it's the right viewport. If you want to perform some zoom functions, you can do that on that viewport. Notice that the display doesn't change yet on the other viewports. However, if you make changes to the drawing, it will be displayed in all the viewports. That's because a change to the drawing is being done on the model and not necessarily just the view. So for instance, I'm going to turn my snap on here and I'm going to draw a circle. I'll draw a circle in my right viewport. I'll give it a radius of 0.25, and you'll notice that circle is displayed in all the viewports. Again, that's because the change is being made to the model, not just the view. If you want to make another viewport active, you can bring your cursor into that viewport and click. That then becomes your active viewport. So for instance, if you want to copy your circle in that viewport, you can do that. I'm going to go to my copy command. I'll window around my circle. I'll copy it to the other side of the object, and you see that again, that circle is being displayed in all the viewports. So any view command that you issue in this view will only be affected in that viewport. So if I zoom or pan here, it's only in that viewport. So you can move around between the 3 viewports to make any one of them active. You need to take note though, however, that when you plot, it's only plotting the active viewport. So in this scenario, you can only plot 1 viewport at a time. If you want to go back to a single viewport, you can go back to the Vports command and go back to a single viewport. Whatever your current viewport is, AutoCAD will display that view. So if you click OK here, AutoCAD will go back to that. AutoCAD has a function for automating 3D viewports. To look at the 3D viewports, you can go to the View menu, come down to Viewports, and click on New Viewports. The dialog box will appear to create a new viewport. The default viewports are in 2 dimensions. If you want to change it to 3D viewports, you can come to the lower left-hand corner of the dialog box and click the drop-down list for Setup. If you click that, one of your options will be 3D. Go ahead and click this. Now when you pick on your standard viewport configurations, they'll be in 3D. I'm going to click on 4 Right. You see the configuration preview will show me 4 viewports. The large viewport to the left will be a southwest isometric viewport. We'll also have a top viewport, a front viewport, and a right viewport. You can always change any of these by clicking on the Change to View drop-down list. I'm going to leave these as they are for now though, and I can change them later once I create the viewports. I'll go ahead and click OK, and you see what happens here. AutoCAD creates my views with 3-dimensional viewports.